We're not sure what you're doing at present, but if you're enjoying a nice Friday night drink, the government wants to know if you'd like some free trade with that. OK, maybe they're not trying quite that hard, but they have launched a major new trade strategy that talks deals, of course, and more access with fewer barriers, but also a more concerted attempt to engage with the public over the benefits of free trade. The aim is to have the bulk of the country's exports covered by free trade deals by 2030. Our political editor, Jane Patterson, was at the launch of the strategy in Auckland.
The government wants 90% of exports covered by trade deals within the next 13 years, a big leap from the 53% currently covered by such deals. The Prime Minister Bill English believes putting new money and more horsepower behind the trade push will create momentum. He says the government thinks the 90% target is realistic, especially given the signals from the original Trans-Pacific Partnership members.
Those countries are keen to push on with free trade, so you can see a plausible list of agreements you'd need to achieve it. That includes the US, so that's why it's a bit of a longer term target.
So how realistic is that, given your comments about a possible bilateral trade, let alone a multilateral trade deal with the US?
Well, it's clearly not feasible in the short term, but we think in the long term the benefits of such trade agreements will be evident for the US, and we'll be able to negotiate with them.
Labour's trade spokesperson David Parker questions whether that target is achievable.
Well, I wouldn't put much faith in it. I mean, their last target in 2008 was to lift exports as a proportion of the economy from 30% to 40% of the economy. Since then, they've gone back to 27% of the economy. And I think this is just a ruse to take off the public attention from the fact that they're not meeting their export target.
The Trade Minister Todd McClay says the government is more willing to engage more widely over free trade, and the establishment of a ministerial advisory group to ensure the public is, quote, better informed on trade issues is not an admission it failed to win public support for the TPP.
I think we did win the TPP public argument in the end, because since the US has signalled they're pulling out of it, we've had business and industry and different groups around the country asking us to go and fight to make sure there is some form of a deal on the table that gives us better access across the Asia Pacific. During the course of last year, I, as a new minister, engaged more than we might have for many years.
Todd McClay will meet with the American Trade Commissioner once that position's confirmed, but says there's still uncertainty around US policy, including a possible border tax that could hit all exports to the US.
Well, largely I don't think it would help the US economy, and I'm not sure, and the way it's been described to me, it would deliver the things that they want to. You know, what I'm seeing for the administration is they want trade flows to be more balanced, and I can understand that. But what I think we need to realise is that trade is no longer just about any one country.
New Zealand wine growers says while wine exports are at a record high, it's good to see the government put its money where its mouth is, allocating more than $90 million over the next 4 years to back the strategy. Its General Manager Advocacy, Geoffrey Clark, says there are many challenges in overseas markets, including the possible US border tax.
Any measure that potentially slows down the free movement of trade is of concern to us. We're going to have to wait and see what comes out of this and deal with it as it comes up.
The Chinese Premier arrives in New Zealand on Sunday for a 3-day visit, and Mr English says they will discuss the upgrade to the New Zealand-China Free Trade Agreement. In Auckland for Checkpoint, Jane Patterson.